Okay, finally I have got my garden into a state that I'm actually proud of and ready to show you guys. Okay, so I'll give you a quick wee tour. This bed is for my cucumbers and my spaghetti squash and my melons, my gherkins. So the plan is that they're going to grow up. The cool thing I've done is set up a soaker hose so that it will water while I'm doing something else, which is really cool. I've got some more melons I'm trying to germinate, but they're not doing very well. So when they come out, they'll go in the space that's in there and in there. So that's the melons and the cucumbers and the spaghetti squash, and the loofahs over the back. And then over here, I've got marigolds on the corner of every bed. So my attempt at companion planting. This is spinach in the leafy greens bed. We've also got rainbow bright beets, celery, shallots. I'm attempting to grow shallots for next year from seed because this year they were really terrible quality. And I have fennel. Over here I have corn. Okay, so far there are 8 that came up from the first sowing. It's always tricky with planting the seeds because how long do you wait before you replant when they finally come up? I mean, clearly these guys are quite big, so I don't think anybody else is going to come up. So yesterday I replanted a whole lot more, so hopefully we shall have corn. Then over here, this is Brussels sprouts that I planted in the autumn, and they haven't really come to anything, but I haven't given up on them yet, so they're still there. This is where the carrots and parsnips are. I was going to plant a new row today, but I completely forgot. The parsnips didn't come up at all, so I have to do more of those. And we've got, there's a row of carrots. There is actually a row of carrots there. And then there is these lovely, lovely radish. And I just planted a row of beetroot. Okay, this is my rhubarb and artichoke, and that's doing really well. Although it turns out the little fella is allergic to artichokes of all things. Then this is my asparagus bed. It needs weeding and picking. And this asparagus bed is still too young to really eat them. So I've mulched it with newspaper even though it's really ugly. And so that I don't have to keep weeding it because it was driving me nuts. This bed here is for my cabbage, cauliflower and broccoli, and we have cabbage, cauliflower and broccoli in there. And there's room for succession planting. This bed here has got my beans in it. Okay, I've put the tall ones are going to climb up the poles, and then in the front will be the dwarf ones. Now I've trying to grow things like kidney beans and haricot beans and things like that I got from the supermarket this year, so see how that goes. Hopefully. Now this one's my salad garden, so it's getting almost ready to, in fact I might nick a few leaves for dinner tonight I think. Salad, looking good, room for succession planting. And then over here I had real trouble getting these guys to germinate, which is why the bed's really empty because I haven't given up yet. These are my red peppers, there's some orange peppers on the back, a brown one and a yellow one I think. There, so, and these are the ones that I grew in the greenhouse over the winter. 2 chilies, and an eggplant which has fruit on it already. And then over here is my potatoes. So the Jersey bennies on the side shall be ready for Christmas, and the others are ready in February somewhere. Can't remember what they're called. Red onions, red onions, pokokoi long keepers, and then my garlic. It's looking really good. Then I have some shallots, although they were pretty crap to start with, so hopefully I better grow my own. And these are cute little flat round flying saucer kind of onions. And then there's my leeks. And there's my tomatoes here, once again with a soaker hose. I've planted them in alphabetical order so that I'll remember what they are. And they're doing really, really well. This one here is the purple Cherokee. So it's flowering away nicely. It's already got one forming in there, which is good. Yum, can't wait. And we've got all sorts of different kinds. And then there was one there, but it got nicked in the night by something. Most upset. So that's my tomatoes. And okay, oh yeah, okay, where are we going? This is peas. Now this has been a complete and utter disaster. I planted down there a double row of peas, and that was all I have to show for it. I moved them all together. It's just the ground kept getting wet and they would rot. We'd have rain just straight after I planted them all. So now I'm just waiting for it to dry out so that we can dry out so that I can plant some more without worrying about them rotting. These are the broad beans. They've nearly finished. There's no more flowers, so they will...
Mom, can I please have a broad bean?
No, you can't have a broad bean, honey. You've got to cook them first. So there's all the broad beans. And then here, with the bed, when the broad beans go, I'm going to fill that up with dirt and put more of these guys in there. I've got some watermelon, some tiny pumpkins, some squash, and more pumpkins, butternuts and buttercups, and zucchini. And we've already got some, which is pretty exciting. There's one there, and there's another one there. Zucchini, yay! So that is for zooks and squashes, and I'll eventually have the whole bed for that. And it's pretty much it, except for the fruit. In desperate need of a weed, we've got red currants, we've got black currants that are just absolutely covered. Hopefully we'll get them all. That'll be nice, yum. And there's another red currant doing really well. And gooseberries, just a baby, so not expecting too much from it. And then another gooseberry here. I really need to weed them. Gooseberry. And then I have over here blueberries. I've actually kept the Christmas tree from last year to mulch it with, but I just haven't got round to it. And there's another blueberry there. That one's a bit bigger. And over here is the strawberries, which, as you can see, is just a sea of white flowers. So this time next week will be a sea of red, which is really exciting. We have, this is an experiment in growing sweet potato, kumara. See if it works in the black sacks, because normally I have real trouble digging them up because the ground gets too boggy, because we are in what was once a swamp. And then, and in desperate need of a weed, as per, is my thornless blackberries and my raspberries. Raspberries, raspberries, raspberries. I did start weeding, so we're getting there. Raspberries, 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 and Joeosaurus. And then over here, looking a bit sorry for themselves, is the Cape gooseberries, but I started them in the winter in the greenhouse because I wanted to have enough for jam. And then these over here, although I didn't have a complete hit rate, is my Jerusalem artichokes. And I have a fig tree that I haven't planted yet. And then these are all my carrots and buckets from the winter. They work really well. And these are all my leftovers that if I don't need them, they will be going to good homes. And then in the greenhouse, lovely bucket of chives down there. There's some potatoes that I grew. They'll be due out in 2 weeks, so they're all dying off. Still trying to get some seeds out. There's my flowers. I haven't really had time to deal with those, so maybe next week. There's the giant pumpkin competition. More flowers. And these are my herbs that they're just a little bit too little to go out just yet, so we'll just hang in there. Quite excited about that one. That one, where is it? Stevia. It's supposed to be really sweet and yummy. Can't wait to try it. And then of course more spares and backups for the melons and pumpkins, cucumbers, squash. So we'll see what happens. Might give most of those away. And then these are the tomatoes I grew over the winter, and they're not the healthiest, but they're doing their thing, so it's quite cool. Quite cool. So getting some good ones coming in through there. And that, my friends, is my garden. And it is wonderful. I'm so proud of it. Oh, that's the kids' garden. I haven't actually done that one yet. They need to help me. There you go, my garden. Right, thanks for watching.